And Wesley really appreciated this thing called the via media. I won't spend a lot of time on that today because of time, but via media is a fancy word for the middle way. And by middle way, he figured out a way that there was so much dissension in the world, and the Puritans and the Catholics and the Protestants and the Anglicans, and they're all at war with each other. He said, this is absurd. We're going to find a middle way where we have some common ground. And the common ground is Jesus Christ. And we're not going to let your answer and 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 the self-righteousness of every one of your answers get in the way of the common denominator, Jesus Christ. Listen to what he wrote. Would to God that all party names and unscriptural phrases and forms, couches, which had divided the Christian world were forgotten, and that we might all agree to sit down together as humble, loving disciples at the feet of our common master, to hear his common word, to imbibe his common spirit, and to transcribe his life in our own. Then he wrote a sermon, and in that he wrote this, though we can't all think alike, may we not all love alike. And if you don't get anything else about the Methodist Church, you need to know that. Though we may not all think alike. Guess what? We don't. Can we not at least love people alike? Wesley said this, I love this. May we not be of one heart, though we are not of one opinion. It's not about who's right, it's about the middle way of love. And here you have this Anglican cleric, but he valued kind of the almost Pentecostal flair of the Protestant movement. And he could go in between different groups and talk to everybody on very common grounds. He was remarkable. And everybody at that time was so polarized, but they said, no, this is attractive. This is a new couch. This one's worth sitting on. And when I was in England and I discovered this, and this is why we're doing it, what I realized was that we may be more polarized today than they were in 1783. And we may not be Whigs and Tories, and we may not be conformists and nonconformists, and we may not be Protestants and Catholics, but I can tell you this, we are Democrats and Republicans, and we are Tea Party, we are liberal and conservative, right? We are Presbyterian and Baptist. And I think now more than ever, the movement of early Methodism is more relevant today than it has ever been.